Sorry, I'm silent, staring at my screen, moving things around, so I'm sorry how that's probably come across. Hey everyone, how you doing? We've been on a bit of a hiatus, haven't we? For the last, I don't know, since Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because of the Atrium Web Summit, and I hope you attended that and got some interesting, got to attend some interesting talks and stuff. But it's great to be back, and yes, I can honestly say I have missed chatting with everyone. When you when you do so much of kind of what you do, whereby you're viewing, not viewing stuff, but where you're presenting and things like that, you do get to miss that engagement, even though it's mainly me talking, the interaction. And it was a bit strange because you don't get to continue some of the conversations that we kind of do. Hey Andu, how you doing? Hey Daniel, great to have you here. I've changed my layout of my office a little bit. With I've got a Mac Mini now, and I've had to adjust the screen a little bit. The trouble is though, because I'm now no longer using my MacBook Air, which used to be down here, so it was angled like kind of like this. Because now I'm not using that, and I'm now using my main monitor as my main screen when I'm doing recordings, I'm getting a bit of a reflection on my glasses. So I'm currently just looking at polarizing filters to stick over my iPhone, which I use as my webcam, which hopefully should be okay, but it's weird because I've got this polarizing filter. Hey Pez, I've got this right, okay? And you might not, I don't know if you're really going to be able to tell or not. It's a bit of a strange one with how it works. But when you turn it, it kind of blocks out some of the lights behind. But I need to test one out. It's going to be about £25, but I'll get it, clip it onto the iPhone, and then turn the filter. And hopefully that's going to reduce a lot of the glare that I get off my screen. Because at the moment my screen is on 40% brightness. If I go up to 50%, you get really bad, like you can just about sometimes see it, but you get a really bad glare. So I've got to work on that. Hope you're okay, Pez. Hey Sergio, how you doing? So Daniel wants to know, what are those two black items behind me? These are just, I mean, look, I haven't turned on my lighting, all of my lighting. So if I stick that on, that will now put on my back lighting. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. And then if I just go and stick this on, you will then get the light effects coming in as well. So that's just a, let me just get OBS properly on my screen over here. So that's just the screen, the lighting that we have at the moment. So two lights either side. So when I'm sat here, it's kind of, it's not fully central, but it's almost central. Let me just turn those off. I only like to have those on when I'm recording now, just to save on energy costs and stuff like that. And the same with this light as well. I don't have to have all the lights on, right? I mean, yeah, don't need to have all the lights on, basically. Pretty simple, really. Yeah. So Daniel, Mac Mini, I have got the Mac Mini M2 Pro, so it's the Pro one. Obviously, it costs more. The M1 was perfectly fine for me. However, when you have a MacBook Air, okay, like when you have a MacBook Air, the problem with them is that you only get two USB or Thunderbolt ports or USB-C, whatever you want to call them. You can get adapters as well. The trouble is, though, is that about 3 months ago, about 4 months ago, one of these ports stopped working. So I only have one port that works. It just stopped working. I just cannot work out what's wrong with it. Cleaned it out, checked the dust. No matter what you plug in, it doesn't work. I have not got the time to take this in. Now that I've got the Mac Mini, I probably will take this in and say, look, can someone look at it or whatever. That being said, though, that was always a problem for me. What if the second one also went bust? That's what I need for my power, for my connections, for my adapters. Everything that I've been running whenever I'm recording was powered by this. So this is still used. This is really good for me still when I want to sit in my bed or sofa working. I can still use this. I'm not getting rid of this. But the Mac Mini M2 Pro gives me 4 sockets. So I feel like I'm a little bit more protected, future-proofed a little bit there. So I really had, so that's one of the other major reasons I needed to upgrade. Also, I'm going to be maxing out some of the video editing, like this massive video I'm currently recording, which is going to be like, you know, Elementor, blogs, WooCommerce, LMS, rank math, web accessibility, good ways of doing things, you know, Flexbox containers, loop grids, grid builder, SEO, loads of stuff. It's going to be a huge video. I need to make sure I've got better juice, because just relying on this is okay, right? This is more than enough. This MacBook, this is an M1 chip MacBook Air 2020, still really good. But I felt like I need to future-proof myself, because if the other port on here went, I'm stuffed. Like, I wouldn't be able to connect my camera. I wouldn't be able to connect and do loads of stuff. And then you got to go over to the Apple store or wherever. You lose 1 or 2 days here. It's a big, like, right? So now that I've got the Mac Mini, I might now consider taking this in and getting this looked at, because obviously, you know, it doesn't make sense. Why did one port just suddenly stop working? Anyway, sorry for that. Sergio says having Windows helps you reduce the cost as well. Having Windows, having Windows. Pez's new 40-inch monitor. Do you know something? I have to be honest, okay. I think I should have gone with a 40-inch, not a 49. The 49-inch is great. However, my camera, just to give you an idea, right? If you imagine, right, this is my monitor, right, going all the way across. My camera sits like this, okay? It's just behind, like that. And because of the monitor being here, right? If I have it in front, then my camera is in front of my monitor, which looks ridiculous for working. So it's got to be there. But because of the height of this screen, and you can't adjust the height, my camera is where it is now. Ideally, for optimum trajection, or whatever you want to call it, of the camera to me, you know, lens to me, the camera actually needs to be not here. It needs to be here. It needs to be down by about 3 inches. It needs to be down by about that much, right? Down. And then it will be, the lens would be to me. At the minute, the lens is like that. The lens needs to be to me like that. Because when I'm doing that, as I'm talking to the lens, that's when you're going to get the worst reflection. The worst reflection from the light. Really, you want to be talking down a bit like that. Then the reflection is not so severe. So that's one of the things I hate about this screen. I love it and I hate it. Anyway, hi to John, everyone. I'm sorry I've not said hi to everyone, but I hope you're all okay. Hope you had a great weekend. You know, trust me, right? 49. I mean, my table, okay, my screen, okay, my table is 75 centimeters in depth, right? 75 centimeters, okay? So on a 49-inch, where I'm sat, it is brilliant. I'm not even having to move my neck much. Like, if I want to move my neck, I can, but I can go like that and I can see all the way. Right, if I'm sat like that, I can see all the way across. So, it does depend on how close you are. To be honest, Dave, when it comes to the M2, I haven't really noticed any boost yet, mainly because I haven't maxed it out. It's not like I've got, like, video editing and this and this and this and this. Rarely did I ever. In fact, I think there was only one occasion where I did max this out a bit. I had way too much open. This is meant to handle more. But it was more because you get 4 USB-C ports. You get the Ethernet. So let me just also hold on. I'll be back in a minute. Hey, everyone. Hey, Artif, how you doing? Hope you're all right. Yeah, so when I was using my MacBook, okay, I was using this. It's the Anchor, right? Can it start in focus? Anchor, Anker, right? So that plugs into your MacBook Air, the USB-C port. What you get with this? You get two USB 3 or 4 ports, whatever they are, USB, right? You get the Ethernet cable, right? Because yes, I could use Wi-Fi, but Ethernet gets me 950 megabytes per second. So why do I want to go to Wi-Fi? And then on the other side here, we get the HDMI, which leads into the monitor, and we get 2 of these ports. So this is for the power. That one was for the power, the USB-C, and then that one was for my webcam, right? So I'm using up a port, but then I get 2 ports, right? And I get all this stuff. Now with the Mac Mini, I get the Ethernet port there inside. I get the HDMI port there. I get 4 of these now. 4 of these, okay? Yes, you only get 2 of these USB ones here, but who cares? You know, I only ever use one. But it's the USB-C ones that were the most vital. So now when you get all that, and by the way, the Anchor, this is, of all the adapters I've ever used, right? I used loads. I tested out loads and kept returning them to Amazon. The Anchor is bulletproof. This Anchor adapter, right, if you've got a MacBook Air or Pro and you need more ports, this is bulletproof. I mean, I don't mean bulletproof. You don't shoot it. But I mean, this works wicked, right? You know, for your HDMI, your Ethernet cable and everything, it is super sweet. Daniel, I implemented Reno's container box class to my Elementor websites, fluid based on browse width. Do you have any thoughts on this approach? So, Daniel, I have done videos on this, and I do recommend it, where I like to, if I was building, when I do tutorials, and I want to address something, actually, can I come back to you, Daniel? I want to just double check the comments, and then I'm going to just come back to you on what you've said there, okay? Hey, Stacey. Hey, VJ. You're not late. I've started early. Oh, ouch. Sorry to hear that your monitor stopped working, Sergio. So, right, back to Daniel. Someone made a comment. Okay, so I released a video on Saturday night about the Bricks menu builder and my take on it and how you can get around a problem with the toggle button. Who here has looked at the Bricks builder menu, the new one? We know there's a bit of you got to get your head around and think a little bit with how you build it. And I was coming up with some solutions to help you out with the toggle button and how to make it look a bit more respectful and better. I hope you liked the video. Someone made a point that during the video I do refer to pixels as I'm building it really quickly. And they took a bit of offense to that. Now, I completely accept that using pixels is not the right way to do things. I tend to use REM. When I'm building, I use REM. But when I do tutorials, to make it easier for everyone to understand, sometimes it's easier just to say pixel. Because for a lot of people that are new to web designing, they don't fully understand like clamp, EM, REM, even VW, VH. Pixel is like the sweet spot. After that, you can evolve, okay? So when it comes to building websites, I always use clamp and REM, and I go with a 1100. Okay, so I go with 1100, Daniel. 1140 is okay. I prefer to go with 1100 just because the way I like to roll. I like things to be rounded down to the nearest 100. That's just how I like it. I use clamp, and I have done a video on this, Daniel, so that you can then put it in your margin, your padding. You can even do it for your image. You do it for your text, obviously. And then, basically, it doesn't matter what size screen you have, almost in effect, if you set your calculation. So I did a video on this, Daniel, called Responsive Desktop, or Responsive Hero Banner, something like that. So I use clamp, right? And I do it on the margin padding. So I might say that when you are 1100 or beyond, the padding is 0, maybe. when you now get to mobile, the padding is 20 pixel or 1.5 rem, however you want to do it. In fact, the way I've done it is you just put it in pixel and it calculates it into rem. So we did a video on that, right? And then what happens is you go from 0 to 20. It literally, like, the padding goes like this, right? The font, everything does that. I'm going to redo that video because that video was done about 3 months ago. And I think it's a good time to redo it because I got a bit of stick. I got a bit of stick on Friday from someone who basically was like, why aren't you using REM in your videos? And they don't quite understand. If I start doing videos, right, for Elementor or bricks, and I'm always talking about REM, how many people out there are going to understand? Now, a lot of you will. Not everyone, but a lot of you will. Don't forget to hit the like button. But how many people are going to go, what? What's he talking about? Right? And I don't want to start alienating our audience because there is a danger there. If you start if you become too scientific with the way you speak and come across, you now are only talking to the experts. Do you get what I mean? It's like mathematics, right? If I'm trying to teach you mathematics, you start with the basics, right? This is how we work out the angle, whatever, Pythagoras theorem. You don't start going into like sin, cos, tan, radiant, rad and all of that straight away. You don't start jumping into the algorithms. You've got to gently get people in. And 9 times out of 10, you can get away with doing a pixel website and you'll be absolutely fine and there'll be no issue. Okay? There'll be no issue. So, yeah. Charlie, back to work today. I'm watching most of the Atrim Summit. Great to have you here, Charlie. Yeah, Charlie. Yeah, it was great to be able to do a couple of presentations. I joined in on the YouTube one with Paul and Jeffrey and Jamie and Corey as well. That was great. Good fun. And obviously I did one about LinkedIn as well. So that was pretty good. Hey, Carapos, you shouldn't get triggered. The thing is, though, Carapos, the thing is, yeah, is that it takes a lot to trigger me. I've been through many trigger moments in my life. It takes a lot to get me triggered. These are 3 screens, Charlie. These are screens and stuff like that. But yeah, they're 3 screens. What was I going to say? But yeah, Carapaz, the thing is I put out a video about bricks menu builder, and then this person decides to comment and go on about how if you want to be a real professional, you know, like, he didn't say those words, but you can read between the lines that if you really want to add value, don't use the word pixel because that's not good. And it was like, get over yourself in a way, you know. It was like, you know, and I think it actually triggered quite a lot of people. I mean, obviously Paul and Jeffrey jumped in as well. A few others did. I had people private messaging me to say, you know, what's their beef? And I was like, I don't know. But this does remind me of how every time I post in the Bricks Builder forum, there is a high chance I'm going to get a lot of trolls and a lot of grief from in there. I still don't understand why. There's something about that group there are lots of members in that group that don't like me. I'm telling you now, I have blocked more people in the Bricks group than any other group I've been part of in Facebook. Did you know that? I have blocked, so I never see their comments. That's very true, Carapos. I think that is one of the reasons, but it's almost like I just don't like this, like, you know, elitist talk that we always do. Yeah, so Daniel, what I would do, yeah, is go and have a look, go and do a search for responsive in our YouTube channel, and you will find a video in there where I basically cover off, like, using the clamp calculator for your margin, your padding, your font, even for your image. Did you know that? If you've got an image that is, say, 600, let's say 600 pixels wide in your desktop, you can use clamp to adjust that same image to be, say, 350, right? Now, of course, bear in mind, though, that if your image was 1000 and then you shrink it to 300 for the mobile, that ain't good for page speed performance. You're still loading an 1000 size image. But when you go from 600 to 400 or 350, it doesn't actually make that much difference, if I'm really, really honest, in terms of page speed performance. So you might want to go in and have a look at that. Right. I'm going to go and I'm just going to have a quick toilet break. I'm going to have a quick toilet break. I'll be back in 5 minutes, okay? I'll be back in 5 minutes. I know I say 1 or 2, but I'll be back in 5. Got to check on Raheem as well. 5 minutes.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Well, you should be coming back right now. How am I going to take over his live stream? I don't think I can take over his live stream. Oh, here, coming back. You should be back now. I'll just go and get him. Yup, he's coming. Yep, he's coming right now. He's a... Yep, he's a...
Ugh, hey, have you just listened to him sniffling? Hold on, let me shut the door. Ugh, sorry, okay, right. Hey, Ali, hey, everyone. EPHS, yep, sorry. I said to him, look, I'm just going to nip to the toilet, go and talk to them. So he does. So as soon as I say that, he comes in and just takes over, really. So Daniel's question mark, does that have to be done per image? Well, yeah, I mean, you could do. I mean, it depends, though. It depends. If you've got, like, a full-width image, Daniel, you wouldn't do that because it will just be a full-width image. And when you swap out the image. But, yeah, it depends on what you do. I did actually check on him, Dave, and he's eaten, luckily. So when I said I had to check, is I gave him a wrap to eat, and I was like, has he actually even eaten it? He's actually eating it, so we're okay. And that's why I said you can go in and have a chat if you want. Hey, Michael, how are you doing? So, what was I going to say? Yeah, so I've got to basically go and get a polarizing filter for my camera to try and stop some of the reflections on screen. The only trouble is, though, you know these? Tell me what you think, okay, but let me just pop this on the screen. Watch the quality. I mean, by the way, we are streaming over YouTube, so the quality is always going to drop with a buffer rate. But if I pop this over the screen, right? Can you see? I mean, ignore the reflection of light there because I've not done it properly. But can you see it? Ignore that little. There was a bit of a reflection because I'm just holding it with my hand. But it slightly drops the quality a bit, which I don't like. So I'm trying to find something that works best for me. Right. This week, surprisingly, I'm hoping is going to be a quiet week with clients because I need to really nail home the videos that I'm recording that I want to get done by next week. I still have 1/3 of the video to record. The whole of last week was recording bits of editing. I still need to record 1/3 of the video. I need to edit it all, and that's going to take a long time. All right. 1 hour's worth of editing can take easily about 1 to 2 hours. Sorry, one hour of recording, you can easily use up about 1 to 2 hours. Roughly 150% of the recording time when it comes to editing. So I've got to do all of that. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like, I've got this, and it's the main reason for it is to slightly reduce the reflection and the glare I'm getting on my glasses. It's not so bad at the moment, but it can be really, really bad. Like that there. See that? See that there? There in my lens now. So when I did the bricks video, as I was editing, it really stood out and it annoyed me, but I was like, just let it go. But it's one of those things that I feel drops the professionalism of the video. That's the one thing I hate about glasses, right? The amount of light reflection we get. Super annoying. What are you all working on this week? Please don't forget to hit like if you've not hit like already. What are you working on? What do you got? What have you got lined up? What are you doing in terms of your workload? I'm trying to keep this week free from any client work as much as I can, mainly because it's bank holiday. Also, you got the King's coronation in the UK. There's stuff happening, and I'm hoping that a lot of our clients are going to be quiet this week so I can nail that video. I want to get it out on Monday. If it slips, it slips. That's the other reason I got the Mac Mini 2, because I'm going to go and get Final Cut Pro or DaVinci Resolve. I'm going to play around and see which one I like. DaVinci Resolve is meant to be quicker for editing purposes because you can use it very similar to Descript, where it transcribes your video and you can literally just delete words. And as you delete words, it automatically edits. It's meant to be quicker. It says it's meant to be quicker. Okay, it says that. I hope it is. And then the video, I think, edited is going to be 5 hours long. Give or take, I think. The MacBook Air and iMovie are not going to cope with a 5-hour video. iMovie starts to shake a bit after 2 hours. That's why I've got the Mac Mini 2, and when I put in something like Final Cut Pro or DaVinci Resolve, I hope it can handle it. Okay, right. Yeah, Dave, can I pick your brains, mate? Can I pick your brains? Please do watch my video, especially with the tips about the toggle close button, because it helps you to think a little bit. Hey, Melissa, how you doing there? Great to have you back. I'd love to get your take, Dave, though, on the off-canvas bit, because I struggled with that. I really did struggle with that. With, like, I don't know why my brain just stopped working. I looked at it twice, 3 times, in fact. I just couldn't get my head into gear with how to make that work better. Michael migrated a web server this weekend, and it took 3 times the allocated time. Oh, dear Michael. Why did it take 3 hours the allocated time, Michael? Not that I know anything about that kind of stuff, but what was the reason? Anything we can learn from that? So Pez, right? Look, Pez, can I be really honest with you, okay? Even when you use the Astra theme, you're limited. Is this for a client? If so, right, okay. I mean, of course you could use Crocker-Block. If you got Crocker-Block, you could do with that. If you're using the loop grid with Elementor, you could also use Grid Builder. So it depends on what you want to go for. Hey, Andrew, great to have you back. Take care, Charlie. You have a good bank holiday too. Absolutely, Michael. DaVinci is also complex. So tonight, I've added 3 DaVinci Resolve videos that are quite recent to my watch list. So tonight, I'll be watching them before I make a decision on will I use DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut Pro to really up the editing game. Because I'm telling you, if I put a 5-hour video into iMovie to render, it is going to collapse. And I don't want to spend too much time on that. Just check the comments coming in. Hey, Mark, by the way. Yeah, so can I... Okay, look, Dave. Dave Den, can I be really controversial? And if anyone decides to soundbite this, be my guest, because I'm being honest here, okay? Thomas's video is not very clear. Okay, I watched it twice. I was like, my brain was going into scramble mode. Cracker's video, so Oduru Cracker, his video, he should have edited it. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed he didn't edit it. What he's done is he's gone in, and as he's experimenting, he's recording, and he's not edited it. So what you get is a 1-hour video that if it had been edited, I bet it would have been 15 or 20 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. There's loads of like, yeah, what about, what's this? That for me is a waste of time. We shouldn't be watching that. That's what you do on a live chat. On a live chat, you can and R as much as you want, but not on a recorded video. Paul's video was good. It's short and it was to the point. And he looked at mega menu bit. I've looked at the mega menu, the multi-level, and I also did something different with the toggle close button. Okay, because I was like, I'm not going to accept what we get out of bricks. So I'm going to say, make it work for you better. So I'm not trying to say, Dave, don't watch their videos, but I'm just saying the Thomas one is going to mess up your head. Yeah, it's not, it's basically, it's not very clear. The Cracker video was an unedited video as well. So that's the problem. That's the problem with it. I recorded it. I spent a lot of time editing it. It was a 1-hour video, over 1 hour, and I edited it down to, what did I get it down to? 15 minutes, 20 minutes? You know? I mean, I'm one of those people where I think that when you do a first look video where you and R is okay when you're playing a game because there's something happening on the screen. First look videos when you are now looking at something, I always feel is a little bit like you got to still edit out bits that you don't want people to see. Right, I'm just going to check the comments because I've noticed some come in. Michael said that his migration tool had bugs, so he had to manually fix. Not good. Ben is about to deliver a website with mock-up text and placeholders. Client will have a month to write their text. Of course, they want to be ready. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, Ben. VJ, can you use, what is that, like a class name, var in Elementor? I don't know, VJ. I haven't used it. Yeah, so Brian, I'm actually changed. So Brian, that was the plan, but I'm rolling back on that. Most likely on Wednesday, so not today and not tomorrow, but most likely on Wednesday, I will have a 1 in, 1 out. So the way it will work, Brian, is it won't be done on Zoom. It'll be done via EV Mux, and here's how it will work. I will let one person come on screen with me. We talk a bit, or they ask a question, or whatever, or something, or whatever, or they share something, and then they go out, and then we get someone in. So rather than having too many people on the screen where we have some that are talking, some that are just sat there, we'll have like a 1 in, 1 out. To be honest, Vijay, I totally agree with you. It's not meant to be a perfect video. The thing is, though, right? Here's the thing, right? We have so many videos coming out now, okay, that if you are going to bring out a new feature, it needs to be a good video. Let me give you an example. Let's just say, okay, someone brought out a car that ran on air. Okay, I'm bringing out, you've all wanted a car that has no fuel, no electricity, no nothing. It runs on air. It's clean, air comes in, oxygen comes out. There's no carbon, right? You all want it, and then it's coming out now. I've been working on it secretly, or I've been working on it. I've let you know it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. We're going to do a video now to show it to you. You need to make sure that video kind of gets to the point and tells me what I need to know and how to use it. So that's my only, and it is a minor criticism, okay? It's a minor criticism. And that's the same with basically a lot of videos I put out. Even when when Elementor do a beta video, no, a beta release for 3.13 or 3.12 or 3.11, I don't record my video like this is the first time I'm looking at it. I've actually installed it, looked at it, decided how I'm going to approach it, and then I record the video and go, right, this is how you get it, this is where you go, this is what you do, here's the pro, here's the con, here's the good, the bad, the ugly. Because when you're playing a computer game and someone does a first look, right, you don't mind because there's stuff happening in the game. But when it's when it's like a tool, you just want to know the facts, right? You just want to get to the point. So Pez, if you want to have a filtering system for the categories in the product items, you should consider the Grid Builder WP. Just reading what Andrew has said there. Do you know what, Andrew? We always have to go back and remind them. Like, very regularly, I have to keep reminding a client who says, so what does my care plan include? And I keep reminding them, it does da. In fact, I just copy and paste the last thing I said to them. I don't understand why they keep forgetting. EPHS, what's the best filter plugin for posts and post nav? I'm telling you now, okay? Oh, hold on, you mean nav? Well, Elementor Loop Grid is okay. I think Elementor Loop Grid, and then you do need the Grid Builder until Elementor bring out the post filter system. Yeah, I'm glad you like that, Dave. Yeah, hey Soren, yeah, the whole like 1 in, 1 out. I know, Brian. I think you'll be definitely Uranusing. No, Artie, which plugin are you working on? Is this your secret plugin you're working on in the background? Thank you, Melissa. I'm glad you like the screen. You are going to get a bit of light. So you can see here, there's a bit of light reflection. You know, if I move my lights a little bit, you'll see there's a bit of... But that's because I've got to angle everything to hit my face as well a bit. So it's a bit of a... And then here, that's the light that I've got here. Let me just show you what happens if I turn that light off. Right, it's completely gone, but now I'm much more in the dark. I don't know. Can you all tell me which one you prefer in terms of like lighting? Can you tell me which one you prefer? Do you prefer brighter, or do you prefer dimmer? What do you prefer? Dimmer or brighter? Can you put it down in the comments? Brighter. Whoa, wrong one. Sorry. Brighter, dimmer. So this is the dimmer one, just so you kind of get used to it. Okay, just so you get used to it. What do you think about that? Obviously, I would have more lighting on behind me and stuff like that. It does mean, though, that I am much more darkened than normal. Okay, but and obviously you get quite a lot of reflection as well over here on the glasses, which I'm trying to sort out. Or do you prefer brighter? Which one do you prefer? So EPHS, here's the thing, right? If I make that higher, right? If I make that higher, the light, you know this, you see this light that I've got here? It would actually be over here. Here. It goes there. So now it's proper masking over there. Right? So by bringing it down a bit, it puts it here. Right? Which I can partially hide with my head being where it is. Nice one, Artie. I know it's that one, Artie, if I was teasing you, mate. Just close your email pop-up. The email pop-up's not open. It's like I've got Amazon open here right now on my screen, but it's because I'm not using my laptop screen now. Before, everything was powered from my MacBook, so I have my MacBook there, my screen is there. Now I'm using a Mac Mini. You get a bit of reflection on that light as well over there. So VJ likes the background purple. A lot of people do. And the front you would like to have dimmer. Yep, that's not a bad idea. Hey, Mia, how are you? Oliver. Oh, sorry, I'm missing all the comments. I asked you all and I'm missing them. Sorry. Melissa goes dimmer. VJ goes dimmer. Oh, really? Okay. That's interesting, that is. I didn't really think... I thought a lot of people would have preferred it to be lighter. But hey, if you like it dimmer, we can go with dimmer. Soren likes brighter. Oliver likes dimmer as well. Ben likes dimmer. How are you doing, Mia, by the way? How are you doing? How's all the animals? So, Pez, I did a video last week on Grid Builder. Was it last week? I think it was last week. I did a video on Grid Builder on how to use it for posts and WooCommerce. I covered both. Go and watch that video, because the first time you use Grid Builder, it's not very intuitive. You need to go to the facet setting. It says cards. No, hold on. It has grid, add card, add facet. Go straight to the facet after you've built your grid, okay? And just watch that video because it really does make it better. Yeah, you are right. I mean, I've got to find a way of I've got to find the sweet spot really with all these lightings. I really do have to find the sweet spot, because it is when you wear glasses, right? The lighting is a pain in the ass. I'm telling you now, it's a pain in the ass, okay? They always say put your lighting at the side. So I got a light over here. I mean, I got this light. It was higher up. The trouble is now it's lower down to stop the reflection there. But then also, because I've changed my gear here, I get a reflection off my screen as well. But I am going to start messing around with polarizing filters on the lens. I mean, look, if I show you here, right, can you see the screen behind me? Watch what happens when I turn it. Can you see that? Can you see watch what happens when I turn it? Can you see that? But look at my finger. I turn it back, right? Look, you can see the planet. Look at that. Can you see my finger? Now you see it. Now you don't. How weird. How weird is that, right? Polarizing filters. So I'm going to try one on my iPhone camera probably tonight or tomorrow when I get it, just to see, can I reduce what's going on over here with the reflection hitting my lens of my glasses at the moment. Dave says brighter. Hey Dave, by the way, how are you? Brighter for general conversations, bit more inviting. Lighter for your videos. That's quite interesting as well. Thank you for that. Use a diffuser and re-angle the lights to come in the back corner. Oh, mate, there's already this is a diffuser. This already has a diffuser on, Michael. I can tell you now, me and lighting have had a love-hate relationship for the last 2 years. Okay? And I said earlier in the live chat, I love my 49-inch screen, and then I hate it sometimes because my camera isn't even in the most perfect location. It needs to be further down by 3 inches. But because of the size of the screen, I'm a little bit stuck. Unless I move my screen all the way over here, which makes no sense, or all the way over here, which I could do, but again, I'm not really feeling it. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I got some new speakers, Edifier speakers, because the Mac Mini 2, or even any Mac Mini, the speakers are atrocious. Proper tinny atrociousness. So I got some new speakers as well, just to give me some proper sound, which is really important when you're editing. All right, you don't have the right speaker system on, and your editing is going to go bad. Hey, Johnny, how are you doing? By the way, Johnny, you asked a question. I forgot to answer it. You've got Yoast. I personally would strongly recommend you get rid of Yoast and go to Rank Math. But before you do that, you install Rank Math. As soon as you do that, the wizard will say, do you want to import Yoast? You say yes. It then imports all of your Yoast stuff. Then you get rid of Yoast, and then you go and reinvent and rejig the Rank Math bit. But on Monday, hopefully next Monday, I will have my super father hugging video coming out, okay, which will also cover off Rank Math settings, Google, Search Console, Analytics, all of that as well. Building a website, blog, WooCommerce, LMS, web accessibility, SEO, Google, all of that, Rank Math, LMS as well. Adding a course, selling a course, restricting content. We are covering off so much in that video. It's going to be a huge video, but you pick and choose what you want to watch. Nice one, Mia. I'm really glad. I mean, do you know what, Mia? I think I need a couple of days to fully recharge as well. Never going to happen. But you see, the thing is, VJ, right? Yeah, you see, the thing is, VJ, this is a moving... Look, it's a moving screen. Did you see that? It's not just images. This is full-on supernova, super scale stuff going on here. And, you know, the reflection, you just got to adjust the lighting a little bit like that. You know, so you get less glare. I might maneuver this a little bit as well, just so, I don't know, just a little bit of maneuverment might be needed. Yes, it's a public holiday today. It's Bank Holiday Monday, but I don't understand holidays. I tell you now, whether it's weekend, bank holiday, whatever, if I'm going to work, I'm going to work. That's the way I am, really. Hey, Maddie, how are you doing? Maybe it is time for a new studio video. Oh, Eddie, that is coming. Because some people have said to me, what is exactly your layout now? And I want to just show you. For instance, a lot of people say this room looks too small. This room is 4 meters by 3.5 meters, okay? It's a bit more than 4 meters. 4 meters and a bit times 3.1 meters. And I have my studio bit here. I've got stuff going on over there where I store stuff. I've got IKEA units here that you can't see, really, other than the start of it there with the wall where it just goes there. On the other side of there, I've got my weights and stuff and other stuff and gear and other equipment and things. So I'm using up a lot of this room, but it is literally like 2 rooms in one. You got my studio over here, and then over there you got my gym, kind of, not gym, but training equipment and stuff. Raheem is currently playing on his computer at the moment. He'll probably come in a moment. Haha, thanks, Mia. Pez, when it comes to a client discovery session, does anyone send the client a list of questions? Depends though. Depends what your intention is. Questionnaires are good. It could also put some people off because remember, if they have contacted 5 other web designers, they've probably got 5 loads of questionnaires, maybe. If you're doing a proper client discovery session because things are moving on, then you could send them questions, or you have the questions ready and then you ask them during your video call, right? So now you are kind of like you get to gauge their response, right? So you're talking to them and you go, okay, so what about X? What about Y? And you can gauge the interest and how they respond as well. And also, if you have a list of questions, if they answer a certain way, you now steer the conversation to find out more or to delve deeper or go, right, let's not bother with the rest. One of the problems is that you could send in 10 questions and half of them are irrelevant now based on how they answer number 1, but they gone and answered it. You're going to look at it. It's like, it's better to steer it a little bit. And I'm very responsive to what people say. In fact, it's one of the things about my weird sense of humor. I'm not good at telling jokes, but I will read the situation. Someone has said something, someone has done something, and sometimes we have a little bit of a laugh or something. So I'm more of a situational comedian sometimes. Yeah. Hey, Brian's got to jump off. You take care. Have a great weekend too. Yeah, that's the other thing as well, Michael. Yeah. That's the other thing as well. They can sometimes take that and go elsewhere as well. So I always feel like I save my questions for the live video call. The video meeting we do. And then I steer it based on what they say. Is there a way we can convert Elementor pages to Gutenberg? I don't really think there is. I mean, I would probably say you got to put in the work and just do it manually. Hey, George, how are you doing? Hey, George. Did I hear weekend? Did you hear weekend? I don't think you did, George. Did you? Well, the weekend has passed. It's now Monday. So with regards to VJ, if you're going to go from Elementor to Gutenberg, you got to put in the hard work and just rebuild it. There are some solutions out there, if my memory, I can't remember which one now. The trouble is, though, there are stuff out there, like, what's it called? 10 Web Builder have something, right? And here's what they do. They take the Elementor website and then they do some form of conversion. The problem is they do not convert properly. They will take a carousel and turn the carousel into one image, right? They will take certain bits and they compress them. So you might go, oh, well, yeah, now I just need to fiddle with it. But in reality, you're going to end up redoing nearly every bit anyway. And I would say, here's the opportunity. Hey, Shaveen, you're not late. It's okay. I'm just going to go and have a quick toilet break, okay? I know I had one, but I've drunken so much water and stuff today. I feel like I'm going every half hour at the moment. But I'm just going to have a quick toilet break. But what I would say is, VJ, is that now's your opportunity to reinvent things rather than just Elementor Gutenberg. In fact, that's it, 10 Web, whatever, yeah. And I didn't like it. I didn't like what they did with that 10 Web. I found it like it creates more work than is use because it compresses, doesn't it? And it flattens stuff and all of that. But here's my question, VJ. Okay, Michael is right. Like Michael says, just rebuild it. You're gonna spend so much more time trying to do a lovely conversion that I would charge the customer to rebuild it. Just do that. What I would say with VJ is, why are you going from Elementor to Gutenberg? Is it page speed? If so, maybe get someone to look at it and go, well, can we improve what we've got on the Elementor site? What is it about why you want to go from Elementor to Gutenberg? And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, EPHS, exactly. I'm glad you're on my wavelength. When you ask them, you can gauge how they respond, you know, whereas they could easily, you could send them a questionnaire. They stick the question into ChatGPT and just give you a textbook answer. Right, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Back in 5.
Huh? Why was that chair moving? Hello. Imran will be back in a second. I'm just going to be looking at the comments and the thingy. So, oh. Oh. God's sake. Oh gosh. Hey, Mum will be back in a few seconds. In a couple of minutes, he'll be back. I'm just going to believe. I'm just looking. Because currently, how many people are there on here? 76? No, that's how many views it's got. The current viewers are 22 people. Oh, hello.
Alright, dude.
You see? Alright.
What are you chatting about?
I don't know, nothing.
Alright. So here's the reality check, everyone, okay? If you have a couple of days where you eat quite a lot of carbs, because I don't like to eat too much carbohydrate food, and then you have a day where you don't, which is today, let me tell you now, you are going to be pissing buckets, okay? Buckets of water. Because when you don't have a lot of carbs, and then you have carbs, you have water retention, all right? That's what it's called. That's where your piss comes from. Water. Deal with it. Hey, Kishitij, how are you doing? I'm going to skip past all the comments between you and Raheem. Yeah, have you noticed, George? He doesn't call me. He doesn't say dad. I mean, even outside, right? So, like, he'll be like, Imran, Imran, over here. Imran, Imran, watch me. Hey, Imran, are you okay? I'm like, flipping out, man. Just say dad. Dad's okay. He says dad when he really wants something. Oh, dad, can I go here? Dad, can I play with this? Dad, can I go get an ice cream? Yeah, then it's dad. Then he loves me to bits. Then he loves me, right? When it's like, hey, anything else? Hey, Imran, how you doing, Imran? Do you have a good day at work, Imran? Like, flipping out, mate. Just call me dad. That's fine. He's very. I mean, some of the other parents at school sometimes go, ooh, oh, our kid's not started using our first name yet. VJ, there are a lot of starter templates in Elementor. It's just a 4 actually. The performance is also comparatively great. I mean, to be honest, VJ, right? Here's what I'd say. Yeah, starter templates are good for learning, but then you want to get on to building out your own thing, building it out your own way, and treat every client unique. Unless your business model is to just sell on templates. If it is, nothing wrong with that. I just don't like to do that. 7 equals 15 these days. 7 equals 15 these days. Okay, Melissa says, I need to know what these screens are behind you and are they playing a video? Yes, they are. It's playing a video. This is playing a video. Look. Okay, look, Melissa, look at the ship, right? Look at the ship. Can you see it? And watch the ship as it moves over, okay? Watch the ship as it moves over. You'll see it cross into the other screen. There's loads of stuff you can put on here, actually. There's loads of stuff built in as well. It is pretty neat. It's a pretty neat screen. And it just adds a little bit of interest. Look, can you see the ship? Right? Can you see the tip of the ship? It's right there. Right. So the ship is crossing over. It's not actually a. It's not. No, hang on. Let me. So it's a. Hang on. Let me get the word for you. It's a. Let me get you the link. Basically, here's the link for it. Okay, so if you want to go and look at it, you can do. There we go. There's the link for it. It's the Atmos Window 2. Okay, it's. I don't want to say how I got it, but it's blown my mind what it is. Andrew, trying to word things nicely, explaining care plan coverage. Like I need to continue. So what you got to do, Andrew, is you got to get to the point. You have to kind of make out how this benefits them and helps them out. How this will protect them from making a mistake that brings their entire website down. To the point where it might be difficult to save the website or any issues they've got in there. Can you see the reflection I'm getting on the screen now? So this is like, can you see it's really, really bad at the moment? That's super, super annoying for me. I've got to find the sweet spot with my screen reflections. George, crashing site yesterday. Guess the theme and builder and tell me to cause you win a Pepsi Max. Oh my dear. Okay, right. Are we Ocean WP? Was it Ocean WP, George? I might be wrong. Was it GoDaddy? Was it GoDaddy? No, it won't be GoDaddy because it's builder, isn't it? Was it Elementor and Ocean WP? Sriram. Sorry if I get your name wrong, okay? Sri from Australia, you're doing a web rebuild and you're creating an e-commerce store for a hardware wholesaler. You're going through your WooCommerce videos. Hey, listen, Sri, Monday in 7 days' time, there is a new video coming out, which is using the Flexbox containers. So my previous videos on WooCommerce and all of that, okay. By the way, are you using Elementor? Or are you using bricks? If you're using Elementor, a new video is coming out in 7 days' time. Okay, and it's going to be showing you a whole lot more. The other one, George, which one are you thinking about? Ocean WP is the only one that comes to mind. Hey Harish, how are you doing? How long did it take to ship? I think it was 2 weeks. No, I think it was 10 days. No, it was 2 weeks because it came in 6 parcels. So you had parcel, parcel, parcel. Then there was the another bit for another bit, then another bit and another bit. Everything's connected. You can actually see that behind here there are wires. There's a wire here, and there's another wire here, right? So they're all going behind, and then I've like threaded them. Actually, you can't see it, can you? So I've got the wire going down like that. They're actually wirelessly connected. They're not actually connected to one another. That's just the power for the wires. And they go down to a cable down here. They don't use up much power at all. I can tell you now, right? With my computer, light. If I had that light on, which it is, this light. If I had the backlight on and the backlight on over there as well. So if I was to go in full-on lights now. So we go light and light. All of this is about 12p an hour. I know 12p an hour is still 12p an hour, but it's only 12p. And that's the beauty about LEDs, really. You know, everything is pretty it's pretty good and neat. Just turn that off there. Believe me, the amount of wires I've got going on down here, and behind there. You know, I'm surprised I don't have an electric shock. Absolutely, Deepanshu, and hey, great to have you here as well. Flexbox has made life so much easier. Ah, George, Astra. Aha. See, here's the thing, okay? Ocean WP is the worst. Astra is not always the best either. Astra can break things as well. So a lot of people use Astra for a WooCommerce website, and I kind of don't advise that at all. Just use Hello. You might need to use Grid Builder or something else or CrocoBlock, but do that because things can feel a little bit limited when you use a theme. Trust me. VJ, if you have some spare time, please have a look at the way Cadence implemented responsive fonts. Yeah, I mean, so the thing is, VJ, are you using the clamp calculator I put out for your fonts in terms of responsiveness? Are you using that? I'm not a fan of Cadence. I have to be honest, I'm not a fan. Cadence is very complicated in their settings. It's really, really light. It's not intuitive. Second, you are limited by what Cadence gives you. I like to have freedom, as much freedom as I can. Because if I know I get freedom with Hello, why do I want to limit it with Cadence? Any responsive fonting they've got going on, I can do with Clamp. Again, I can just use Hello. And in the new video that comes out, okay, in the new video, no, I didn't, Melissa. I have nothing to do with their website. The video I'm bringing out uses REM. And then right at the end, I'm then going to go, right, what if we redid the hero banner as an example, but we made it more responsive? I didn't want to do responsive fonts throughout the video because I feel like I'm going to alienate some people. The minute you start saying to everyone, REM, clamp, font, da-da-da-da-da, there's going to be a lot of new users that are going to go, I don't get it. I'm struggling to get it. What I've done instead, though, is I'm going to building out, right, the website. And then I'm going to go, right, let's now revisit. No, sorry. Now let's have a look at the hero banner in desktop, tablet, mobile. We have a jump. Font, font, font. We have a jump. Let's now make it be gradual when I shrink the screen down, right? And I want to demonstrate that right at the end because I feel like from a good practice point of view, it's like driving, okay? It's like driving. Let's say you're watching a video on how to drive a car. You know the base, you kind of get the basics, but you want to become a driver. I could jump straight into stunt driving. Here's how you do it. Do a spin, pull on the handbrake, leave a spin, swerve, skid, whatever. We could do all of that. Or you understand how to drive, good practice, what you should do, stay safe. Then you move on to, okay, now here's how we break the rule. We don't do that, we do this instead. You want to drive and then do a sudden 360 or 180 turn. Not 360. You want to do a 180 quick swivel turn. You're going to have to break the rules of what you were doing before. And that's my theory and logic with why I do not always force through font clamp in the videos. We do use REM, and I do talk about why we do that. And it's a very easy transition from pixel to REM. But for the font clamp, I'll leave that right at the end. And I hope you all appreciate that when you're watching the video, because it is, very true, VJ. But what I will say is, okay, if the benefit of Cadence, the major benefit of that is, if that's the major selling point for Cadence, I would be like, well, okay, actually, if you're going to use like Gutenberg or Block Builder, Cadence is really good for you. But if you're using Elementor or anything else, then I don't think Cadence is the best option for you. Oh, Georgia says, check your email for a plugin lost for a non-Woo site. Ooh, what's that, George? Check the plugin. Oh, what's this? Astra bulk edit. Whoa. Ooh. Don't like the sound of that, George. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing though. Cadence Blocks is using the clamp font as well. That's literally it. And I'm always very much like, if I'm using Elementor, why do I want to go down like that? I want to just use hello and then have freedom to do what I want. Because the Cadence for me is, yeah, exactly, VJ. It's better for Gutenberg. I always feel like you're limited a little bit. And what can happen is, by the way, hey Gary, hey Pickstar as well, hope you're alright, is that I know people that used Astra for a WooCommerce website. Astra gives you a sidebar and widgets to pop in, right? But then they never go beyond that because they feel like, well, this is all Astra gives me, so this is what I'll use. Some of them also then end up using the Astra header footer because it gets given to them. And Astra's header footer is very restrictive on what you can do. I know you have like multi-columns and stuff, but it's not the best way to do things. Yeah, absolutely, Eddie. I mean, don't get me wrong. Cadence is good, right? Astra's good as well. Astra used to be my main theme with Elementor. And then I realized, nah, I would rather have that complete freedom to just do what I need to do. And I'm just going to stick to hello. I think that comes down to, it's very subjective though, right? It is very subjective. I like to know that, okay, look, it's a bit like this, yeah? It's a bit like this. You could paint a picture where the picture's drawn for you and now you're going to colour it, right? The picture's drawn and now you're going to colour it. Whereas I like to have a blank canvas and then I will dictate how it looks and works the way I want to go for. No, you are right, Eddie. You are right. And to be honest, though, when you do a sidebar with affiliate, it's not always a good idea because people often ignore it. Whereas if you do it in the text, you can make it contextual. So you might say, let's talk about the best drink and why this drink is really good. You really need to be thinking about your carbs, your protein, and what's going in your body. This drink is the best on the market to help you out with that. So when you contextualize it with like some text, people are more responsive to it. Whereas if you just have an image saying best drink ever, think about it, right? Best drink ever advert, most people don't care. Whereas when you talk about the benefits of a good drink, oh, and did you know that this drink is the one that does it all? Then people kind of navigate towards it, or they're attracted to it in a bit more of a better way. VJ, recently Geary started new conversation with DOM elements, performance, etc. with number of DOM. What's your take on that? Look, you are going to get DOM for every bit of text, every image, every container, every block, every div, every border radius, every weighting, every boldness. Everything on your page is going to generate a DOM. So obviously you need to limit it, but that goes without saying. That goes without saying, which is why when I see websites that are busy pages, I sort of look at it and go, why did you need to have all of that? Oh, the client wanted it. Okay, the client wanted that, but did you explain to them that you've made the page really heavy? Even though your images are sized and they are WebP, you got loads of images. You got loads of text, right? Your home page is literally like a blog page now. Loads of text everywhere, images, videos, all of this stuff you're pulling through, right? All of this stuff pulling through. And I would always say, try and keep it. Look, it comes down to site mapping. When you do a wireframe or your site map, site map, you decide on the pages, but then you decide what goes on the page. We're going to have an about page. What goes there? We're going to have a testimonial page. What goes there? We're going to have a home page. What goes there? Okay, maybe all of this about your services, let's just keep it slim and have a separate services page where we expand on it. Do we need to do everything here? Now, if you've got a super duper server and 1,000 people visit your website every hour and they will spend money regardless of what you got, you probably don't care. Hey, I don't care if my DOM is 1 million. I don't care. They're still going to come here to buy because they ain't got nowhere else to go. Well, they have, but they like coming here. If you're a new business or you're trying to make a dent in the market against competition and a customer or a user has 5 different tabs open, right? You're competing against other websites. Do you really want your website to be slow? Do you really want it to feel heavy? Do you really want me to sit there going, oh my God, whoa, I've got to read all this, and when do I get to the point of what I need to do, and then click the question and click the buttons and the call to actions and all of that? We've just been invaded. We've just been invaded. There he is. He's come in.
I'm going out.
Where are you going?
Outside in my back.
You've got a... Have you guys noticed he's got a cold and a sniffle? He ain't well. Look at him. Look at him. This is what E.T. would look like in a body bag.
I want to go to school tomorrow.
You want to go to school tomorrow? What do you mean you want to? You are going to school tomorrow. There is no debate here.
Yeah.
Raheem.
I can't go to school.
What? You are going to school tomorrow. Don't spend too long outside, okay?
I have to spend like 10... I have to spend an hour out there.
You're going to... All right, shut the door, but don't spend too long, okay? You got a cold. You're sniffling. Oh, dear. Kids, hey? Kids. You want to lock them up, but that's against the law. Yeah, and, oh, by the way, Eddie, yeah, I noticed your comment. Yeah, I mean, it's something I've been planning for a while, and I thought, oh, yeah, you know what? I haven't done that one. So... just to remind people, you don't have to because a lot of people I know, they use Hello and they switch to Astra just to get the sidebar, or they install a sidebar plugin. And I'm like, no, you don't need to do that. You can do it inside Elementor with another column and a shortcode. Harish, is it possible to change the error message that appears on the WooCommerce checkout page, like when the customer leaves the first name field empty? Can you check with ChatGPT? Ask ChatGPT. I think there's a function you can add, or you could use Loco Translate. The Loco Translate plugin, you could do that and it will find the word. So pop the message in, it will find it, and then you can rename it to be what you want. But double check with ChatGPT. He has been up late, Gary. He has been up late, but he started sniffling a lot yesterday. Trust me, Eddie, he has to go to school tomorrow, okay? I've had 2 days with him. We've got a bank holiday Monday. I do not get much production done on video creation when he is here. He needs to go to school tomorrow. Don't forget to hit like if you've not hit like already. Yeah. I mean, what I'm going to say, is without going into like any arguments or anything, okay? If your website is full of section, inner section, you're going to have loads of DOM, loads of coding going on. Even when you do container with a box inside of it, you're going to start generating code. Which is why I say only do a block or a div inside a container if you need it to help your layout. If you use your custom whips very, very carefully, you can have items positioned whereby it looks like you've got 3 child containers in a parent container. Actually, it's 1 parent container and then you got your items. You can do that. Just think about what you're doing. I'm a big advocate for font clamp. I really, really am. Clamp, sorry, not font clamp, clamp. I don't talk about it a lot in the videos, but like I said, imagine all of you, right, were now learning WordPress and Elementor for the first time. I want to design my website. I want to be a web designer. I want to learn about the tools. And you watch a video, and straight away I'm going into DOM, clamp and all of that. Are you telling me you're going to fully get it? Seriously, be honest with me now. Forget your history. Forget your education. Forget your experience, okay? You want to build a website for you, right? Or you want to help build others, but you want to get on. You want to up your game. You want to learn better. Imagine you are watching a video about how to build a website, and it starts going into DOM, clamp, all of that, okay? And this is the first time you're really starting to use WordPress or Elementor or Bricks or anything like that. It's going to scare you off. Forget that you have 2, 3, 5, 10 years experience. Forget that, okay? Imagine you're one of these people, right? Oh, I've been told anyone can build a website. Oh, I'll go and have a go. And then straight away it's like, DOM. It's going to scare you off. I'm telling you. You're better off easing them in, right? Get the basics. Understand how it works, right? They could easily do it and it works. And then you go down the road of, right, okay, clamp would have been better for your responsiveness rather than pixel REM. Because now you advance a stage, right? I use iMovie for movie editing, video editing. I am fine with that. Now I want to up my game. I'm considering Final Cut Pro or DaVinci Resolve. I'm going to have to learn. But I have the basics. I understand, right? My trimming, all of that. Yeah, I get it all. But if I'm now going to go up a level, right? You understand better. Whereas if I had gone in straight into DaVinci Resolve, never edited a video, right? I've recorded it, but I've never edited a video, never done the sound, never trimmed, never improved the audio or the video, never overlaid, never done transitions. Can you imagine jumping straight into DaVinci Resolve or anything like that? You'd be like, whoa, how many settings? You learn the basics, then you go up a level, okay? And that's the principle and the learning that you have to take on, I believe, with anything, right? Don't just don't try and get someone who's learning mathematics to design a NASA rocket, engineering. You learn, and then you break the learning to do something different. Then you break the learning to do something even expander, right? Literally all the time as you advance, you go, right, what you learned, you need to unlearn because we're going to do it differently. That's the way I like to do things. Maddie goes, do I have any videos about using shortcode? Maddie, can you go watch today's video about the sidebar? That video covers shortcode. You'll understand it. Go watch today's video about the sidebar, Maddie. I know you might not be interested in sidebar, but go watch that, and that will explain the shortcode with the template. Let me just quickly skim down because I've missed a lot of questions coming in. Any comments on the Atrium conference? Yeah, I think it was good. I think it was really good, Andrew. And I think it gets to share and help people out with thinking differently. George has already gone and get the code for you there. So look, there you go. But if you're unsure, you can ask in the Facebook Web Squadron group, and you've got ChatGPT as well. Eddie, please tell us about the Atrium conference. Really, Eddie, you should have got emails for it. I mean, I can't speak for Atrium, but you should have got emails for that. Let me just check it. Give me your name. May Imran give me your name and address. By the way, though, the best thing you can do, everyone, is use the Facebook Web Squadron group, okay? Use the Facebook Web Squadron group. Interpret, can we add filter price? Yes, you can if you use Grid Builder. Go and watch go and use Grid Builder. Astra, yes. Whoops, there are other plugins as well, but you can use Grid Builder as well. What's wrong?
Need a pencil.
You need a pencil?
I'll get one from the room.
Where's your little tub that had all your pencils in? Did your mum move it?
Oh, it's in that room.
Yeah, do you know where it is? Inside there were about 3 pencils. No, not that one. That pencil, no.
Can you see something?
No, not that. Pencil. That is a pen. That's a pencil.
No,
Pencil.
We need a pencil.
Yeah.
We need a pencil.
Do-do-do.
We need a pen.
It's wherever your mum put them, which he probably doesn't know. Hey, Nicholas, how you doing? Yep, exactly. Yep, Nick, start with the basics. Same with VJ as well. Andrew saw an interesting tutorial using trigonometry inside a calc function. Yeah, this is what I mean, Andrew. This is what I mean. We could easily break things open. We could easily go, hey, you don't even need to use clamp. Hey, did you know that you could go, right? In fact, when it comes to web designing, why are we even... Yeah, he's just nipped out, Pickstar. He saw it and then he ran back out again. Why are we even using page builders? Hey, why are we using page builders? If we're going to get into this argument about, use this, why are we even using page builders? Why are we using Elementor? Why are we even using bricks? Let's go down to it. Why are we even thinking about breakdance? What about Divi? Why are you even doing generate blocks? Why? Why are you even using WordPress, goddamn you? Why? Go and build everything with code, right? Forget everything. If we're going to get really pernickety over it, right? Your DOMs and all of this, why are we promoting anything? Just go and build it from scratch, with your code editing. As basic as possible. There you go. Now you're probably going to have the most amazing website, hopefully, that is lightweight, hopefully, that does everything you desire, hopefully. And that's why when I see people go on about, oh, this is better than that, this is better than that, I'm like, everything is relative, okay? Everything is relative. It's like iPhone versus Samsung, Pepsi versus Cola, Domino's versus Pizza Hut, right? McDonald's versus Burger King. Everything is relative, right, to whatever you're doing and using, So when I see people go on about, oh, you should use this, you should use that, I'm like, really? Because, those same people are going to hate it when they have a non-WordPress user or Magento come on or go, oh, you should use this instead. And then they're going to try and argue out, who cares? It's like cars, right? It's like cars. Yes, we have really fancy cars. And then you have what we almost think of as a basic car. But you know what? I've seen people driving cars and I'm like, oh, in your head, you're like, I would never get that. But that's because we don't like it. But does the car get you from A to B? Yeah. Are you safe? Yeah. Can you put other stuff in your car? Yeah. So let it go. Let it rip. Trip, slip, rip. And Eddie, you made a great point. Why did I even go into WordPress? I started looking at web design in 2003, but I didn't start using WordPress until 2004. And I was doing, coding and stuff like that. And I found it hard work. I am an advanced SQL person. I was very good with SQL. Spent a lot of time training people up with SQL back in 2003 when I started really using it for analyzing data, okay, and data mining and building algorithms. Yeah, I was on fire. But I still struggled a bit with HTML and stuff like that. I got it, and then I was like, what about this? What about that? WordPress made it easier. The plugin community grew and made it easier. The community. We are a community. So stop bashing at people if you use Elementor, Divi, Bricks, Breakdance, Grid Builder, Spectra, Quickly, ACSS, whatever you want to use. We're a community. And that is what we should be, a community, not factions inside the community, because factions bring down the community. Oh, really, Artif? And a MySQL error. Ooh, was it a syntax? Was it trying to pull something that we're not got? Sorry, just checking the comments. The only thing is, what is not relative is relative. Yeah, there you go, Pixar. What is not relative is relative to the relative. Yeah, very good point. George, have you preferred paid builders? But if you want clients, you need to be able to use everything because you will get a client. Exactly. And this is, I have to be honest though. When I know a client has got Wix or Squarespace, I will try and navigate them to WordPress if I can, with the benefits of not being in that infrastructure and better to be in a richer infrastructure. When the client has got Beaver or anything like that, I assess it on how much work is involved. When they're using Visual Composer, I have to be honest, I don't go near it. I have struggled every time I've worked with a Visual Composer, especially when the previous developer has injected extra coding into the Visual Composer bit, and I'm like, where the hell do I go here? So I get a bit put off by that. But yeah. So I have my strengths, but believe me, I have my kryptonite as well. There are some bits that just put me off. 2-minute warning, everyone. I hope you're hitting like and smashing the like button. If not, please go and smash it. Abdullah, you learned WordPress in 2004. I was born... No way. Really, Abdullah? That means you are... Hold on. That means you're 17 years old, Abdullah. Is that right, Abdullah? Are you 17 years old? By the way, though, there's nothing wrong with your age, okay? But I thought, I don't know why, I might have thought you were older. But then again, I don't go in and study everyone's main profile. Where do you live? How old are you? Are you in a relationship? What music do you like? I don't do any of that. Yeah, probably broke it. Do you know what you did, Artif? You probably did a view upon a view within a view. I remember someone doing that, okay? All right. Their query in SQL, right, for query analyzing a huge health data set used to take 4 hours. Every time you asked them to do something, yeah, it'll take 4 hours. And I was like, what? And it was because they had a view upon a view upon a view upon a view. And I was like, it's a whole lot easier if you just make the first query dump into a temporary table, which only exists at that point in time, then you use the results from there to generate the next bit and the next bit. Oh, but that's more work. Actually, it wasn't. It was very, very simple. The query went from 4 hours to 30 seconds? Literally 30 seconds. Because when you do a view upon a view upon a view, this has to generate, and then this has to like generate, but then this is reliant on what's here, and then this is reliant on what's here and here. They're like in a continuous like fluid motion. You don't do a view. Anyone who works with transact SQL, right, with data mining, big databases, you don't do a view upon a view upon a view. I think they had 6 views. 4 hours to about 30 seconds. Probably spent about 10 minutes just modifying, right, this goes here, this pulls from that, this pulls from that. You're not using up any extra file storage space. Temporarily at a point in time, but it's okay. 4 hours, 30 seconds. Right? Logic kicks in. Logic. WordPress was 2000. Hang on, I'm gonna get this right. Was WordPress 2003? Oh, I'm gonna get myself mixed up now. WordPress was 2003, I think, early 2003. Hey Gary, ancient alien. You're not an alien, mate. Well, I don't know. You keep mentioning the concrete jungle. I feel like, are you in a prison, Gary? Are you like one of these prisoners who just currently joins us during their 1 hour, break at the, lunchtime to go in, go, right, you're allowed to go online now. You're in prison, and then you go back to the concrete jungle. Oh, Mia, how many animals do I have? Sorry, Mia. I might have missed your question earlier. Sorry about that, Mia. I used to have 2 cats. We got both of them in January 2004. Loved them to bits. Absolutely loved them to bits. They were indoor cats. There were 2 of them. They came together. They were great. One of them died in January 2022 January. And then in November 2022, our other cat died as well. So their ages would have been 18 and 19. But they were great cats. Missed them a lot actually. It's very, we were used to them being around every day because they were indoor cats. And they were with us through everything, the good, the bad, and everything. And often, if I had a really bad day at work or a bad situation, and I went and, they used to make things, they gave you the reality check. They made a lot of mess as well, food here and there or whatever, but they were good as well. Am I going to get more cats? If I'm honest, Andrew, no. And I'll tell you why. We had them for 18 and 19 years. They were literally like kids of the family. They were part of the family, right? They were part of the family. And I just don't think I can replace them. Same with the wife. We just don't feel like replacing them. Not because you save money on food and all of that. Not for that. Okay? That is an extra, the amount you spend, it's not a huge amount. But it's more to do with like... It's more to do with, oh, sorry, Mia meant as a question for your clients. Oh, got it. Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Why don't we ask you, what animals have you all got? Tell me if you've got any animals. Go on, put them down. Tell me what you've got. But for me, I don't think we're going to get any more cats. I think it's an emotional topic for us, and we don't like to go there. It's like we lost 2 members of the family. And it wasn't a nice time when we knew they were going. So I know we could easily do it, but it's just one of those things that we just don't want to kind of go for. And have you had them since they were kittens, Andrew? It's 13-year-old. Because the kids also as well, your kids, they grow attached to them, don't they? And it's when you lose, and it's like for them to go at 18 and 19, and I'll tell you what, we didn't even see it coming. Literally, the de-escalation in their life and everything and the way they behaved, it was so rapid. Literally, like within there is a 2-minute warning. That was 7 minutes ago, Pickstar. So I am going to jump off now, actually, after we find out what everyone's cats are. I thought it was early. 2003, VJ. Was it May? I thought it was early. No, I would quote it, Andrew, because I would say, yeah, that the minute you start messing around, right, with colors and fonts, you might need to go through quite a lot of pages. Even when it's a global color or a global font, you're gonna have to double check. So I would quote for it. You know, the fact you're saying do it for free, maybe it's a minimal cost. I don't know, £120, £160, but I would still put a cost onto that because something else might creep in as well. Shaveen's got 2 cats. VJ, you lost a dog and a rabbit too. Sorry to hear about that. Artif has 1 wife and 2 kids. Dun 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 dun. Ooh, Artif. Ooh. All right, look, everyone. I'm now going to shoot off now, okay? Because it is definitely 1 o'clock. We've been live for 1 hour, 40 minutes. I need to get editing. I need to crack back on with editing, right? Look, take care, everyone. Catch you all later. Great to be back doing the lives again. I'll see you tomorrow at the later time. And hopefully on Wednesday, I'll open it up to like 1 in, 1 out. So you can come in, ask a question, then you jump out again. Great to have you here, Nick. You take care. Don't forget to smash the like button. And I'll see you all soon. Eddie has just 1 wife. I'm glad you clarified that, Eddie.